Hi everybody, welcome back to the psychological safety video series. So today we wanted to talk to you about a couple of specific terms that are used really widely out there by leaders, by coaches, by execs, by team leaders, by teams, by organizations. And those terms are passion and engagement. We're talking about those two terms specifically today, but the more general point here is that there are a lot of really useful words being bandied about, and we don't necessarily have clarity on what those really mean. We don't necessarily go deep on what those actually mean to us. It's easy for us to say we need passion, we need engagement. That makes our lives better, it makes our work better. But what do they really mean? So we thought we'd spend a bit of time just digging deeper and starting with those two most popular of terms with regards to teams and psychologically safe teams.
Right, and as ever, we have probably touched on this before. There's very little we haven't spoken about. And we have told you that when we first built the software, we spent quite some time on the definition of engagement. We still don't think we have it down pat, and we are surprised at the gap between those people and those companies and even those enterprises that are having the definition properly in mind, in the sense that most people are just kind of running with this existing definition, whether it's examined or not. Most times it isn't. Nobody kind of sits down and goes, what does engagement really mean to us? What do we want to see happening in here, right? And then kind of maybe walk away from the term and just choose another one. How do we make our people happy? And kind of the answer to that should be quite evident. But one of the ways in which you can kind of make your life easier is by allowing them to fall back on the amounts of passion that they came in with. So if you find a way to re-access those moments where your employees were genuinely and truly invested in the company and invested in the work they're doing and invested in their colleagues and invested in the dynamic in the team, if you get that investment out of them, then you probably can pay them less. Let's face it, you can keep them more, you can pay them less, you can have them be more performant. It's not, it's not rocket science. None of this is secret, right? Every CEO of any company probably knows off the top of their head how much does active disengagement cost them. They should know. They get those slides from all the big fours every week. But whether or not they pay attention to it is a different story. Whether or not they care about the definition, they examine the words, whether or not they allow their people to get as close as being happy at work as humanly possible, those are two different things.
And the truth of the matter is that, both of these terms are umbrella terms. And when you break it down at a team level, they're going to be extremely unique and individual to that team and to what's happening for those team members. What engages one team and what makes another team passionate are going to be different depending on who you're talking to. So the most psychologically safe, healthy teams are the ones who are talking about passion and engagement. And we've talked many times about how, getting over that discomfort barrier to talking about the fluffy stuff, which is really just another term for the hard stuff, which allows us to ignore it. So by talking about the difficult emotional stuff, we get to really, truly, deeply understand that about ourselves and about our team. So the more conversations a team can have regularly about what passion is driving them, what's engaging them, what they need, what they can bring to the table to raise levels of passion and engagement in the team, those are the teams that are going to have greater levels of psychological safety, because every time they'll go a little bit deeper, they'll get a little bit more of the nuance, they'll understand a little bit more about what's happening internally and externally for the team that's impacting those things. So once and done is never enough with regards to bringing passion and engagement to your team. So as ever, if you want to get those elements for your team, passion, engagement, that emotional connection, psychological safety, a healthy team, come and talk to us. We'd love to help. If you can't, please just encourage your team, may force your team to have these conversations and get started and get over that barrier. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.